leak with really, really pretty visuals. It definitely looks legit to me. It's still in rumor phase, but apparently it was supposed to be shown at TGS last year, Tokyo Game Show, and now they have delayed it to be revealed at E3. I think that's a big get
delay
for Sony.
That's quite a big delay, though, isn't it? TGS last year to E3 this year.
Yeah, that's September to June, so yeah, nine months.
So it must. I guess that means it's nearer to release, though. So that's
or it could mean that it is near release and that they've just kept it.
Well, I think the PS4 needs something this year.
they definitely do, and that'll be that would be a really nice exclusive. And there's a whole lot more Sony nonsense to talk about in just a few minutes. But I did want to briefly touch on the Last of Us DLC that both of us have recently played. I love that game so much from the multiplayer end.
I said during one of my commentaries that I find that I like DLC and stuff, but at this point it's very, very much the hardcore people playing it constantly, and it can become a little bit frustrating for people that like me and you that sort of jump on it occasionally, and people have been playing this daily and they just bought the DLC obviously to get more maps. That's where I think the frustration sometimes kicks in with the DLC for me. I think it's when it takes that long to come out. You're playing against almost like MLG pros, yeah. And it's like, it gets frustrating, but yeah, it's good though. I like the maps so far, and the maps are very, very impressive. They look great, and they got I like the versatility. Sort of, you can go up and down. It's got different levels, and it feels good.
Definitely. I think they're some of the best maps in the game. This is the Reclaimed Territories map pack, also the Grounded bundle. They released it like a schizophrenic person or something, because there's like, you can buy skills, you can buy guns, you can buy a harder difficulty mode for single player, you can buy the maps, you can buy it all together. If you have the season pass, you have to download them individually. It's very strange. But yeah, we definitely... It's like that Call of Duty thing, right? With each map pack, your player pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you're left with only the cream of the crop, the hardcore players. And I'm hoping that with The Last of Us for PlayStation 4, the remastered edition, we'll see a resurgence of newbies, and then we can have a little fun. Right, we can feel like we are the top dogs in multiplayer for at least a little bit, because it's freaking fantastic. I'm glad
we have touched on briefly is the way they done the last bunch of DLC was, for me, really, really badly, because I worked it out to be sorry, this is in pounds because I work in pounds, but it was $23.99 to buy all the new DLC that came out on Wednesday or Tuesday. Okay. Or you could just buy the season pass for $15.99. I'm like, that includes the previous crazy DLC with the maps and the Left Behind DLC as well. So I'm just like, so weirdly priced as well.
The pricing stuff is strange, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm almost 100% positive that the remastered edition for PlayStation 4 is going to be full price, and I don't honestly think they're going to do anything to transition people over for PlayStation 3. It sounds like I heard another comment from Naughty Dog this morning saying that they really have invested a lot into these character models. They look as good as the cutscene models now from the PlayStation 3 version, and that they even were having trouble, or at least thoughts of, are we going to be able to fit all of this on one disc? So my thinking is it's going to be no... people were hoping for like, $10 upgrade price for PS3 owners, but I would venture to say they are going to market and push this as a brand new type of game thing. Speaking of brand new games, have you seen the Sunset Overdrive footage?
Oh, you showed me just before we started, and that looks so good. It looks
so good.
It looks so good. It basically looks like an Xbox One Infamous, but
it does. That's exactly what I was thinking. So funny that you say that, because that's like, this game is from Insomniac, the people who've done Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, Fuse, and basically they kind of wanted to make an Insomniac smoothie. It sounds like they put all their favorite parts of the different games together and have this. It looks really, really cool.
I just like the colors in this as well. The colors, some games, it's getting a little bit better recently, but the games used to be so just like grey, brown. And this game, if you can find gameplay, I'm not sure we can't show it unfortunately, but the gameplay looks amazing. The colours and the movement looks really fun. It just looks like a really sort of doesn't look like it's aimed at just trying to think of the right word, but it's not aimed at like really young people, but it just looks like a sort of young, vibrant game. It looks very much like an Insomniac game, like Ratchet and Clank, and I just think it looks very, very impressive, and I just cannot wait to try out. But I'm a bit weirded out the fact that it's only on the Xbox One. I would like it to be on the PS4 as well, but there we go.
I mean, I think it is kind of cool that it is Xbox One exclusive, just because that makes me think they are having that much tighter of conversations with Microsoft, and hopefully this game will look very, very pretty. You know, there's all the talk of like, oh, Xbox One can't do 1080p and blah, 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 blah. But from the little bits that we saw, this does look, to me, at least at first blush, it looked almost as good as Infamous Second Son. Obviously a different style. And they said that they basically wanted to make an Insomniac game for people who grew up with Insomniac games and now are adults. So it still has the color, it still has the fun, but they're definitely, you know, tweaking it towards an older audience. Just the name of the guns themselves are completely ridiculous and mature rated. So it'll be interesting to see how successful something like this is. You know, taking sort of that post-apocalypse zombie approach, but making it really colorful, really fun, really crazy. I read a bunch about this game this morning, and they said, you know, fun trumps realism for them, that they wanted to make it like rock and roll meets the apocalypse, instead of having like, oh, our main protagonist is sad and covered in dust and dirt and he wears brown clothes. Like, no, like, screw that. Like, craziness, freaking giant balloon animals and zombies covered in orange energy drink, and it's madness.
It looks so colourful, which I like so much. You're just gonna. Am I right in hearing that it's going to be like an open world game? So it's purely open world with all these colours, amazing stuff you can ride. It almost looks like a roller coaster you can go on and stuff. It just looks, the sort of motion and speed looks amazing as well, and it looks like you get like main missions, but you got like side stuff to do as well. So you go into the main missions, almost like a GTA sort of style thing. So you got like a main storyline, and you got side stuff to do as well. It's also lots of collectibles as well to collect, and it just sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It feels like a sort of, I guess the weapons also remind me a little bit of, what's the name now? Dead Rising, sorry. There's so many Dead games, but Dead Rising.
A little bit of that there. I mean, mechanically, they wanted to keep things moving very fast. So I think we forgot to even say what kind of game this is, but it's basically like Mirror's Edge / Jet Grind Radio meets Ratchet and Clank shooter-ish. It's not a hardcore shooter where you have to, you know, very finely tuned aim. There's a little bit more lock on, but they wanted to keep things very fast paced. So you're grinding on rails, you're wall running, you're bouncing off of umbrellas, and the goal is to have a very Prince of Persia / Tony Hawk / Ratchet and Clank / mix of these games that's focused on velocity is supposedly the term they were using a lot in demos, of like, you're constantly moving, you're constantly shooting tons of enemies, and there's this style meter that as you're doing cool tricks, taking guys out on the move, grinding from rail to rail, keeping your flow going, you'll build a style meter, and as you level that up, you'll unlock new weapons or new they're called amps, which are different things that can modify weapons. So you can add like flame ammo, or you could add fireballs to your jump, so when you land you shoot fireballs, or the random chance for a mini nuke to shoot out of your gun, and that kind of adds like a score element to it. So
is it like a multiplayer, like combo sort of thing?
Yeah, and it sounds like what people who played it loved the most was that it was very fresh. Like, there's not much like this right now. It is open world, it is shooter, but by adding that Mirror's Edge / Tony Hawk movement system in there, it creates kind of a brand new genre almost. And I think that that's a really exciting get for Xbox One, a system that needs something to say like, hey, come notice me, buy me. If there's a game that like, hey, Sunset Overdrive is not only really pretty and really cool, but it's new and you can only get it here, like, that's a great draw for people to want to check it out.
I just think it's generally like, is it a third person? Is first person?
No, it's fully third person. Okay. And you can create your own character and customize their clothes and all that typical stuff.
All that jazz. It's purely open world. Is there any multiplayer in it at all?
I have not heard confirmation of that. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some multiplayer modes. It seems like you could do some really cool things, races or score challenges, stuff like that. I do wonder, like, I'm trying to think of a game that would represent this, but where you do move really fast in a section, you're kind of on rails-ish, shooting stuff, and that's like a fun alternative.
Like Infamous 2, isn't it? Sort of thing? Like a sort of on rails.
But then you kind of want to get back to the ground and do like the main game. So now that the main game is that fast moving, always on the go stuff, I wonder, will we enjoy that for 12 hours? Grinding from rail to rail, bouncing on cars and shooting stuff. They don't even have a run button in the game because they constantly want you to be elevated and on the go. They don't want you to be ground level.
So it's just constantly sort of running, I guess. There's no faster button to move, just like constantly just running around, I guess.
Well, when you're on the ground, you're just walking. So
okay.
You walk on the ground, and then once you get, quote, started on your run, like of wall running or grinding, that's when you pick up
like
speed.
a motion sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so